One of the most toxic concepts when it comes to relationships is that fighting is somehow a part of love. And now narcissistic people love this concept because narcissistic people love to fight. They love to provoke. Why? It's not for love. It's to dominate. Now, fighting for something that you love is not the same thing as fighting with something that you love. They are very different things. Fighting for what you love means that you are fighting against outside forces that threaten what's so precious to you. That's what it looks like when you fight for something or somebody that you love. But when you're fighting within that which you love, well, what are you fighting for? This brings to question what fighting really is all about anyways. There's only two reasons for fighting. You're either in defense, and that's why you're fighting, or you want to dominate. You want to control. You want to change something. That's the only other reason for fighting. Defense or domination. So if you're fighting with somebody that you love, well, what are you fighting for? You're not fighting to protect anything, except maybe yourself, from the hands of an abusive narcissistic person. But really, what are you fighting for? It's not for love. Let's talk about how this has become so twisted, why narcissistically abusive people love this, why you've been stuck in this in a toxic relationship for God knows how long, and how to change our mindset. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. Now, before I do continue with this very important message, I want to let you know that I'm here to support you. Down in the description box below this video, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. I do take telephone calls as well as video calls through Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp. If you are in a relationship where somebody is trying to convince you that fighting is a healthy, normal part of this relationship or any relationship, head on down there, schedule some time with me. I'd love to help you get out of this toxic, dysfunctional dynamic that's going nowhere because there is no love. Head on down there, schedule some time with me right now. In addition to that, I do have a coaching program. My coaching program is live and in person. Now, the Royal We coaching program is not only about healing from narcissistic abuse, but we're also making plans. We're making 2024 your year about discovering and staying on your path, your purpose, your passions. And by the way, I want to show you something that is really kind of cool. If you sign up for the Royal We coaching program right now, I am going to throw in my handmade custom artwork. This is my artwork. I've designed it for the Royal We coaching program 2024. I will give this phone screen to you if you get in there and get registered today, this week. Also, you can put it on your iWatch. It's a great way to look at something every day and remind yourself of who you are and what your purpose is in this life. All right. Now, let's get into this. Narcissistic people, as we've talked about, love to fight. The reason they like to fight is why? I want to read your comments down below. The only reason they provoke and fight is for dominance. They want to dominate you. Their identity is in that of being better than, greater than. So when they're convincing you that fighting is a normal, healthy part of love and you just too sensitive and you just fighting is okay and everybody fights and blah, 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 what they're really trying to say is I'm going to continue to try to dominate you. And there's things about society that we need to pay attention to that has allowed an open door for this. There's a lot of conditioning that we need to undo when it comes to what's helped narcissistic people continue in this idea that fighting is okay. I'm going to talk just real briefly about some movies that you are all well aware of that depict and show how fighting is a part of love. I'm going to begin with one that's kind of really weird. The movie Avatar. Have you seen the movie Avatar by James Cameron? What's interesting about this movie, it's nonstop fighting in order to gain acceptance. So dude turns into an alien body. That's the avatar, right? Goes, meets this girl, has to fight her so that she will then love him. The fighting with her turns into love. Then he has to fight the tribe in order to be loved and connected to the tribe. The weirdest, sickest kind of twist part is they're getting ready to get these flying pterodactyl dragon things, right? Each person gets their own, and they're unified. But when he says, how do I know which one is for me? They say, well, it's going to be the one that tries to kill you. It's going to be an epic battle. But the most weirdest, sickest part is during this epic battle, what he's supposed to do, this dude, is take his tail and bond it with the tail of the creature. Right? And then suddenly, boom, the creature's eyes open like it's just been penetrated by something. And they're unified. And they are together forever bonded after first wanting to kill each other. All right? Now, this kind of subconscious thing sears itself into our minds that we can fight. Right? And then be bonded. Right? In this unification type of a way. Which history has proven that that's never the case. There is no indication that fighting equals some deep love. That's storytelling. That's fantasy world. It's, if we're not careful, it's delusional. As we said, there's only two reasons for fighting: self-defense or domination. There is no such thing as fighting to fall in love. Fighting with somebody to be in love. When somebody wants to fight you, they're either in self-defense, like we've mentioned, or they want to dominate. In the case of narcissistically abusive people, it's for domination. It's not always for self-defense. What's really interesting about this is fighting for domination is fighting to hurt, fighting to crush, fighting to destroy somebody, which is what a lot of you have experienced at the hands or at the words of narcissistic people that you've been dealing with in your life. And when they're fighting you, you have to understand that a narcissistic person is committed to that. They're committed to destroying you. They're committed to dominating you. They're not committed to falling in love. They're not committed to love at all. It's commitment to domination. Commitment means they will stop at nothing until they perceive they've gotten that. How many of you are with me so far? I'm going to talk scripturally, biblically. There is no story in the Bible that suggests that people who were filled with the desire to fight out of domination and control, that it ever turned into love. When King Saul grew a hatred towards David, had a desire to fight David, he was committed to killing David. David had to flee. David hid for a long time. And had it not been for God's divine intervention, Saul would have succeeded in what he wanted to do: get rid of David. At no point did they come together and say, okay, now that we fought, let's love each other. Look at the story of Jacob in the Bible, who married the two daughters of Laban. Laban wanted to chase Jacob and fight him and kill him to take his daughters back, to dominate Jacob. At no point did they say, oh, well, let's love each other now. Had it not been for God's divine intervention, Jacob would have been killed at the hands of Laban, who wanted to fight, not for love, for domination. Story of Moses. Pharaoh wanted to kill Moses, wanted to fight Moses. Moses had to flee. At no point did that heart of wanting to fight transform or turn into love. I could go on and on and on and on and on. Listen, we have to stop believing that fighting in a relationship equals love. It doesn't. It equals chaos. It equals destruction. And it's a commitment to fighting until somebody wins, somebody loses. That's what you're in when you're with a narcissistic person who wants you to believe that it's okay to fight. It means keep playing this game with me until somebody dominates, somebody wins, and it's just a dark hole of chaos. That's all it is. Now, the purpose of a relationship, let's get there. You don't have to fight. You don't fight with somebody you love. You unite with somebody you love in order to fight the outside world. The world is hard enough. The purpose of a relationship, the purpose of a healthy relationship is to be a united force against a dark world. You fight to survive. You fight to get food. You fight at your job. You fight these things that want to oppress you on the outside. You fight against illness. You fight against sickness. You fight against, I could go on and on and on. That's where the fighting belongs. The purpose of a relationship, a strong friendship, especially a marriage or a unification, is to have your team to fight that stuff. But if you're wrapped up in this relationship believing, oh, we fight each other, that's what relationships are, you're kind of screwed, aren't you? Because not only are you fighting out in the world for survival, but now you're fighting with the one thing that should be your support. You have nothing. You're pressed in on all sides. You're fighting around every corner. This is why it's so important that you dump the idea, you ditch the idea that love is associated with fighting. It is not. That's a lie. That's a lie of the devil that wants to keep you down. That's the lie of the enemy that wants to keep you from going anywhere in life and finding your success and finding your path and finding your joy and finding true love. That's right. While you're busy fighting with people, all it's doing is exhausting you and stealing away any possibility of finding true love. As I said before, I am here to support you. I know that many of you, myself included, have believed that fighting is okay and loving relationships, family dynamics, blah, 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 on and on and on. I've wasted many years there. I don't wish that upon anybody else. Head on down there, schedule some time with me right now so we can work together through this. You don't need to fight with the ones you love. You need to find something worth loving and then fight for that. As I said before, schedule some time with me, and I will be back with more videos right here on The Royal We. If you are new to this channel, be sure to hit the bell notification, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any future videos. Until I'm back, watch one of these videos right here recommended by the YouTube algorithm, and I'll be back right here on The Royal We. Bye, everyone.